Yes, sir. They already know what the time it is. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Offseason. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, hardest working guy in the business, Nino Brown, better known as the mayor of college football. Nino, what's popping, man? How you doing today, bro?
I'm all right. Had a hectic day. I talked to you a little about before. Snow, car doors falling off. It's just take it in stride and roll with it. But I'm excited to do a little midday Valentine's Day overreaction off season with you. And I think it's gonna be a couple topics here that are gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, the start of your day seems like the start of like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Like it's just not going to end well.
Nah.
Well, this is what we love to do. We love to provide you guys this content. No off season in this sport at all. If you pay attention to the storylines, there's plenty of them. Since our last episode, coaches are attempting to escape the college ranks at a steadfast rate. Ryan Grubb is the newly named offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. The Michigan Wolverines are losing defensive personnel at a rapid pace, and Chip Kelly traded in a higher salary and a house on the beach for a lower salary and cold winters in Columbus. But in the end, he said he's winning because he don't got to deal with NIL. Nino, in the name of all things good, what in the hell is going on?
I mean, I kind of touched on it in the last episode when we were talking about the middle of this coaching carousel going on. But I mean, I'll say it again: coaches and coordinators are using college football as a stepping stone, right? It's like the rebound, get a little buzz, get myself good on the right team, get out of a head coaching job into a nice cushy OC spot to get back to the NFL. Because you don't have to do it NIL. You don't have to recruit, which is, leading up to what I'm going to talk about in a few minutes with Chip Kelly. It's less. You just got to coach. And that's it. Collect a paycheck, right? Everybody's got their own job. You don't have to worry about doing all the minutia. There's time off, right? College football coaching, there's no time off.
No.
As soon as it ends, it's go on the road, go get recruits, signing day, go get more recruits. Okay, spring ball, practice. They get maybe 10 days off in between everything. These guys are getting older. We said it a long time ago in our very first episode. Start the season off. No country for old men.
Nope.
The way the game is changing, the speed of the game, the speed of everything going on, the more they have to do as older they get, they don't want to do that. They'd rather go where, they're dealing with adults, guys that aren't trying to get the money, already got the money. Wholly different ball game. Now, when we talk about Chip Kelly, okay, the situation is odd because I think of it, as his head coach and he's going to take, an OC job, which it's probably the best OC job you can get right now, right?
What's somebody he trusts too? Somebody he
knows. Yeah, exactly. Has ties to, done it before with where it was kind of roles reversed. He was the leader. They was the understudy. But I don't know if he was even gonna be there if he won 10 games this year, right? I said it before. Again, I'll say it again. Chip Kelly and QBs, he's always fumbled the situation multiple times. Again, he fumbled it with the 5-star Dante Moore. That was just like pouring gas on a brush fire. He just added to it. They had a guy. They were able to steal a guy away from, Dan Lanning and bring him into UCLA. And they were playing pick and choose. Yes, he had trouble, but it's either ride him out and let the growing pains go or expect something like this to happen. Well, what happened? He's gone. Okay. Now, the OC in Ohio State is perfect for him because you got 2,000-yard running backs, right? And I bet you they both have 1,000 yards again this year.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Because this is what he does, right? He's more of a ground and pound guy. Here's the way his scheme is. A lot of plays, right? Just keep going. I think those two guys, it's set up for like success. He didn't want to recruit. He had already said it publicly. He was done with it. When he talked about having a football commissioner, it was very, very obvious he was done with this whole way that college football was going. So he was going. Plus, they're in financial trouble. I kind of alluded to you in the green room a little bit. I'm talking big money. Athletic department is in the hole. Like, they're in the red. So, yeah, they may have tried to retain him or spice up somebody else, but when we get to the latter end of this program, we'll talk about it. I think they kind of had no choice with what they had to do. When it comes to Michigan, though, like we knew Michigan was going to get stripped worse than the strip of Magic City, right? I mean, we shouldn't be alarmed there. We knew when Harbaugh was leaving, everything was coming off, right? It was going to be Friday night special, 2-for-1 special in the back room. That was going on. So that wasn't a surprise to me. I think the strength and conditioning coach leaving, that was a major, major surprise to me. That was kind of like the heart and soul of them. They were known for like, just smash them up. Those guys on defense were just, horses. Him leaving, that I think is going to change the program a little bit. But, as far as Ryan Grubb, you know how I feel about that. I always said Ryan Grubb is the guy. Okay? He's the offensive mastermind behind it all.
Yes.
We're going to have to see if DeBoer is the guy, right? Because a lot of people said, oh, it's Kalen DeBoer, and Grubb just comes along and adds to it. We're going to see who the real deal offensive guru is real quick. But the way that they handle that, the way he left on the last day of the 30-day portal window, that's just dirty, bro. Like, and you give these kids a chance, right? You out. Maybe some kids went there because of you. And then you bounced, and now they have no choice but to stick it out.
And this is after he gave his word. When questions were arising, this was after he given his word that no, I'm staying, I'm here. Did he ever even sell his house in Washington?
I honestly don't think that the ink ever dried on the paper.
Wow. Shout out to Russell. Russell's in the building, man. Talking up Lincoln. Nebraska starting out 7-0 out the gates. That's crazy.
Woo! Milk box, baby.
That's a heck of a take. So you remember once upon a time, it wasn't all of this in college football. It wasn't so jumbled together. Like your free agency happens right in the heart of bowl season. Yeah. That's when your free agency happens, right in the heart of bowl season. Not only does free agency happens, also if we look at high school recruiting as an NFL draft, early signing day happens in the heart of the bowl season. It is next to impossible to do this and not feel like a hamster on a wheel. Once upon a time in college sports, you recruited your class, retain 90 to 95% of your class because people didn't want to sit out that 1 year because you had the redshirt year if you decided to transfer. Right. Now you have to recruit your class, continue to recruit your class, bro. That is difficult. Oh, Texas A&M, number one signing recruiting class in 2020 in the 2022 cycle. Everybody left. You got to continue to recruit your class. Oh, Caden Proctor, he's at Alabama. I kept recruiting. Oh, y'all thought the recruiting season was over just because he signed this letter of intent? That's just not how it worked, bro. It's so difficult
not no more.
to do this in college. And NFL is certainly in many ways more lucrative and honestly it's a lot less work.
Hey, college football might be creeping. They just signed that big deal the other day, right?
That $7.8 billion. Yeah. Well, so ESPN.
They get a set in the ring with the NFL real soon and throw some haymakers.
You wanna go off script for a second?
Go ahead.
Did you see that? Did you see that initially the college football playoff format for the 12 teams was a 6+6? It was the 6 automatic bids and then the 6 at-large bids, which was pretty much via the college football playoff ranking. You see that trying to do the 5+7 now, right? And this is something we anticipated where it's only one group of 5 school versus it being 2 group of 5 schools. So it hasn't gotten approved yet, but it's going to get approved. If the Lions wants it approved, it'll be approved.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought that was interesting. So in other news,
talk to me.
Yeah, to a surprise to no one, Quinn Ewers is named the starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns in its upcoming 2024 season. And some may question, would Arch consider hitting the portal? And the short answer is no. His uncle Eli wants his nephew to hit the weight room and become more engaged with the playbook. And say you never know when his number is going to get called. I thought that was a great point. Here at Champion Nation, we are wishing Quinn Ewers a fully healthy season. It's something that he hasn't been able to do since he's been in Austin. But how do you feel about this, Nino?
All right. So this is a kind of like a 2-part question. So I'm going to talk about Arch first, and then we'll talk about my guy.
Okay.
Arch already came out like when the whole NIL rumor was swirling and the portal buzz began early in the year, right? And Malik Murphy came out hot, right, as a new. And Arch Manning was already came out and said he might take the Eli Manning route. He said that, and he described it as the Eli Manning route. Sit 2 years, learn, start as a junior, grow in the process, ball out your senior year, go to the NFL, which is exactly what Eli Manning did.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
He did it so well that he was able to dictate where he went.
That crazy.
right? So
a
like
la John Elway, yeah.
And Arch Manning has way more buzz. And they say
Yeah, he does.
generational talent compared to Eli. So don't get it twisted. He's still sitting in the driver's seat to what his plan and the Manning plan was, right? So like now his brother comes out and says, yeah, my brother needs to get a little bigger. And he endorsed the whole idea, right? So this seems like this is the route he's going to go.
Right.
That whole Malik Murphy thing, that experience happened and it didn't last, right? Well, Malik Murphy's going to be the hottest thing. Sliced bread is going to push everybody in Texas. I like the kid. He played well in the spring game.
He did.
But when your QB, the interception ratio in the 2 games you start is dead even, maybe that was because you were playing in the spring game, right? Now, I wish the kid good luck where he ends up landing. I think it was Duke, right? Is that where
Duke. Yeah.
So he should battle with Loftus out there, and he should do well. But Arch and Quinn are the guys. Now, when we come to Quinn, you say, health concerns. The first injury against Alabama 2 years ago was because Swiss cheese line play.
Yeah.
Dead. I mean, blitz up the middle, blew him up, hurt shoulder, out. Okay. This year wasn't much. He rolled out and got the injury. So that was totally different. But back-to-back seasons, he's missed 2+ games. He still looked good this year after week 11 and the 2-game hiatus. I mean, what was he? I think he was 9-3 in the touchdown interception ratio down the stretch, 770 yards, 5 touchdowns in the final 2 weeks. I think he was good. I think that looked fine. I mean, that's top-notch performing, right? But Shock went. We all know he's bad with the deep ball. That's his main red check mark is he can't throw the deep pass, right? So what do you do? Speedy receivers, speedy weapons to eliminate the deep throw problems, right?
Right.
And he returns every single guy up front on that line.
They're returning a lot of production.
Banks, Connor, Mayer, Campbell, Willis, all them guys are back. Banks is probably going to be a first-round draft pick, right? They have Kellen Banks. So everybody is on the same page. They know it's protect our guy because guess what? Both Quinn and this line know this is our last run with our guy because the next one could be starting over in a rocky road with Arch, right? So Quinn knows this is the end of the road for him. That there is no more after this. So he might even play through an injury he might have taken off last year or the year before. I think you're going to see elite Quinn. I think you're going to see a Quinn Ewers kind of play more of a Bo Nix role this year. Right? Eliminate the deep ball. A lot of these passes where you get them in space and let them create almost like a deep pass. And I think Quinn is going to be in that talk for the Heisman final at the end of this year.
I like it. In a quarterback class that, at least at first glance, doesn't appear to be a super deep class, he could certainly be the alpha of that class if he has the type of season he needs to have. In other news, Deshaun Foster, former standout running back at UCLA, has been named head coach. Nino, how do you like the signing? And can Foster lead the charge in year 1 for UCLA in the Big Ten?
All right. Again, a 2-part question. At the beginning of this, I like the hire, but I think it was a default hire. Okay, we heard the rumors of Brennan,
Jed Fish,
right? Jed Fish, both of those guys were thinking about going to UCLA for the interview. I think Brennan actually interviewed. Those were the rumors. Again, when you're millions of dollars in the hole in the athletic department, you can't really pay these guys. Like PJ Fleck came out and said, as soon as the UCLA job was available, he came out and said, I ain't going nowhere. Homie, you make $6.5 million. They're in the negative. They couldn't afford you if they wanted to. Stop trying to be relevant, bro. Just stop, right? So Foster, they say, I say default too, but they kind of had to work a little bit because he was gone, right? He had already gone to the Raiders and signed to be the running back coach over there. He was only a week of saying that he was going to be the coach, and they were able to steer him away from an NFL team with Antonio Pierce, who probably has the most buzz in the NFL.
He does.
So
they're trending on Twitter a couple of times.
When you're in the top 5, you know what I mean? So it's like they got a guy back that was able to keep that room. They were able to, that was able to keep the morale, keep the culture over there, right? And I think maybe not to the degree that Prime did, but I think he can have a buzz over there and get a turnaround on these guys like Prime did. I think you can get, next year he's going to go out and get his guys, right? But they got I believe they got a 3-star running back coming in this year, right, to go with it. So I believe, Yeah, it's Cameron Jones from St. John Bosco to go along with TJ Harden. I'm in. I think because you have a running back guy who's had 3,000 yards in the NFL in 5 or 6 years, who's had 3,000 yards for UCLA and 30 plus touchdowns, who's been at UCLA as a coach for the last 5 years, right? They respect him. When they announced it, the AD said, a guy that wants to be here. Right. And he walked out and that place went bananas, right? So, like, I think the whole thing, whether it was by default, whether it was because of money default, whatever it was, I think they fell in shit and came out smelling like a rose with the Deshaun Foster hire. 7 games maybe this year, maybe 6 or 7 is because he's going to have to get it to where he wants, right? What are they going to do with the quarterback? You got 2 3-stars and Hasselbeck, and I can't think of the other guy's name right off the top of my head. Carson is the first name, right? So those 2 guys are coming in, but then you got Gabbers and Colin Sheely going to battle it out, which they shouldn't even have been battling it out last year. They should have just been veteran backs and let Dante Moore grow, but it didn't work. So, yeah, I mean, Russ says who are the players they should target? I mean, we don't know what this next portal is going to open. Right now, you're limited to what you can target, right? You're only limited to the 2 teams that have a thing, but I think they may target some guys in this late window portal.
Yeah, we got about 2 months before the late window portal opens, but like you said, there's a couple of teams that have that open window because of the coaching change. It seemed like Chip Kelly just stopped trying, bro. His recruiting class is buns this year in comparison to the other years.
That's why, like, he literally took a millions of dollar pay cut to go be at Ohio State, knowing that he could revamp that and recoup that next year in the NFL. This is a spicy hot take, and it would probably take them or Foster going in there and trying to clean up this NIL money and everything. But if Conor Weigman hits that late window portal, they better go chase. Because what does Conor Weigman have to throw to right now? Like, not much, right? There's not many guys. You have Cyrus Allen come out of La Tech who transferred over. But and from what I heard, Russ, nobody's leaving. Everybody's cool with the Foster thing.
Yeah, they like
TJ Harden's happy with it. Like, everybody is happy with it. So I don't think you're going to see poach unless there's some backdoor bag thrown around. You know, someone comes up to you with the Louis Vuitton bag full of hundreds. Maybe I'll go and take a ride somewhere. But I don't think you're going to see anybody really leave. But like I said, 6 games. I think they're going to run the shit out of the ball this year. TJ Harden's value is through the roof. He's obviously going to, be a guy. What are they going to do with being in a new conference this year? Well, that'll be it. But I think get a guy that's cemented in the ground, a guy that's got, like I said, can build a culture, a guy that's played in the NFL and for your school. So I think they'll be all right.
I would have to agree. I think they made what could have been a terrible situation, kind of a great situation based on the finances that they had, based on having somebody that's been around the program for years, and that guy bleeds UCLA. He's a born man for sure. All right, Nino, I want to switch gears a little bit. Can we have a candid discussion about Kalen DeBoer? Since he was announced as head coach at Alabama, I don't think things could have gone worse. Looking at this glass half full, and of course we got to look at it half empty as well. How can DeBoer have success in year 1?
It's never about the guy that replaces the GOAT. It's always about the guy that replaces the guy trying to replace the GOAT. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to see who the offensive mastermind is now that he's sitting on an island like Richard Branson by himself. But the deck is stacked against him because is Milroe his quarterback style? No, I don't think that fits his system at all. But are you going to go with the redshirt freshman Austin Mack? I don't know. You lost 4 receivers, you got 1 back in Bernard. You lost 4 offensive linemen, you got 1 back. He knew what was going on. I think he knew that Grubb had already had NFL interest in Washington. Had no backup plan, right? Washington offered to double their salary. Double. Man, you were living on $4.2 million. They were going to give you $8.4. Wasn't good enough for you. You were hungry and wanted 4 more on top. So they gave you 12 at Alabama. But here's my question to you, KT, and I'm going to ask you this. Does DeBoer last past Nick Saban's last recruiting class? Because I don't think so.
Yikes. TBD. I have to see what happens with this late window. They haven't found an OC yet, right?
No. They're gonna promote from within. Nick Sheridan or whatever his name is.
Really?
That's the buzz of what I'm hearing, like kind of like 90%. Hey, but I'm hearing he's a good mind at Indiana. Again, he's coming from Indiana. Right. Was there at Alabama last year. I just don't know. Listen, when you have a GOAT, and even before him, right? It was Bear Bryant was there for a very, very long time, right? I mean, and at the end of it, it got a little ugly. But when 37 or 40 years is successful, and then when they were supposed to be out of this year, and they were successful, and they were in that big game, right?
Yeah.
You only win 6 or 7 games in the first year out. I'm sorry, bro.
And this
ain't gonna have that. They're gonna stop. They're gonna be picketing early.
This isn't the Pacific Northwest either, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
The heart of the Deep South, where
that's all they know. This is life.
People grandmother can talk football better than a lot of people. Like, I've seen clips of somebody say, "Hey, you heard Saban retired?" And this black grandma lost her. Damn mind. She was so upset that football is law down there. I 7 games this year if you want to.
I was in Mobile at Veets, right, with my boy Boomer, and we went to go meet Froton and John Vogel and a couple of these other guys, Derek Brown. We were out there, and we went from Veets to another bar around the corner. And as soon as we got to that bar, there was these 2 ladies. They were all older women. They were sitting at the bar. You could tell they had enjoyed themselves a couple adult beverages. They were like, "Oh, y'all here for the football?" And we were like, "Yeah." Nick Saban's God. F. Your boy Lane Kiffin. He is terrible. But it was Roll Tide right after that. And everything she said was Alabama. And this lady had to be close to 50 years old, right? She's watching football every Saturday. Like, she said Lane Kiffin makes men look bad. Like, it was just, this is where we were at, but this is where it's at football in the South. So, like, you don't win 6 or 7 games. You are not bowl eligible year 1, bruh. It is going to get. They're going to be trying to do what my man's camera's doing. They're going to be trying to focus him out. All right? That's what they're going to be trying to do. Real quick.
There we go. Yeah. So does he last longer than his last recruiting class? I think short answer is yes, unless things get really, really bad. Now, he can't just be winning 7 games. You're going to have it 9 to 10 games. This is Alabama we're talking about. Unlimited resources in Tuscaloosa. Like, that's a hell of a question.
Real quick, right? West Kentucky, USF. Those probably wins next year, right off the rip, okay?
And USF, I mean, they struggled with them last year.
Bryson Brown is no pushover, bro. That Bryson Brown is his dude, bro.
And we love what Alex Golesh is doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so be prepared. And then now you have in Madison, Wisconsin, against Wisconsin.
And then they have the bye week 4, and then they got that
Georgia,
that dog.
Right? Then they get a bye week at Vanderbilt, and then they got South Carolina at Tennessee, against Missouri, at LSU, Mercer, at Oklahoma, Auburn, and then whatever happens. Bro, that is not a cakewalk. It's going to be a struggle to get to 6. What if Jalen Milroe hits the portal in the late window and says, "Yo, I'm out, ski. Gone. Take it easy." What happens? What happens out? Pack it up, bro. He might as well not even unpack his suitcase because it's over for him. Wow. There's nothing that he can do. He probably wouldn't even make it past year 1.
Wow.
You're gonna roll out. You're gonna roll out Mac. We're gonna roll out Mac. You're gonna roll this dude out, right? Because Milroe doesn't fit the spread out Washington offense, up tempo, throw the deep ball. He does not fit it.
No. That
things
could get, with that schedule, it certainly could get ugly down. We know Saban moved to Florida, loves golf. How often will he be in Tuscaloosa? I mean, I'm sure with his college game day duties, he's not going to be in there often. Maybe a pop up for spring camp. See how things are going. You know, for like how invested is he going to continue to be? You know, even though
he's got his office already, they built it, but a lot of his things would be via email from a yacht, from a golf course, from a studio, and the emails will only be 35 days left, bro.
Yeah,
20 days left, buddy, and that's all it's going to be.
Yeah,
because if he wanted to do what they want him to do, he'd still be the head coach.
Yeah. Things could get ugly, man. Like, I wasn't hitting the panic button, you know, at first. I'm like, okay, guys are leaving. They don't lost some guys. I'm like, but you know, with Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, I believe in their ability to develop quarterbacks. They will find a system that works good with Milroe. Yeah. But now that Grubb is gone, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to hit that panic button. I'm definitely hitting the panic button.
His Linus is gone. His blankie in Ryan Grubb is gone. He ain't got nothing to get cuddled up too nice when he gets worried about what play to call. That's gone, bro. And if Milroe's not happy, he's already done it once with a guy telling him that he should go somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's going to stay there and it ain't going to work and it's going to affect Milroe's stock and he's just going to run all day. See you later, I'm running. I'm going to become a running back now.
Right.
Oh, he ain't even going to deal with it. He's going to be out and Kalen DeBoer is going to be left there holding a blank clipboard. Dude, what do I do now? Maybe I should just stay in Washington.
Now it's 2005 in Tuscaloosa all over again, and these fans are not going to be happy.
Nope. Hey, it's going to be Mac, or should I stay and had Rodgers? Because you had Will Rodgers in your system, the guy you went and got in the portal.
Yeah. You think if he knew what he knew now, he would make the move still?
If he could go into the future? I feel like he pulled the San Francisco 49ers and didn't know what was going on in overtime. Oh, you know, like, what did you not know what happens with these 30-day portal windows? Did you not understand what was going on? You knew Grubb had interest. They had interest in taking him away from you from Alabama last year.
Right.
Saban tried getting him last year. You know what I mean? So you knew there was interest. There was a chance you weren't taking your whole squad. And with it being late, there wasn't guys that you go get that fit your squad. You could only get what was available. And if you didn't know that, then, man, you walked in with one hand tied behind your back and one foot up your ass. And that's your own fault.
Yeah. 100%, man. They don't, man. What's the last word, man?
Last word is we ain't stopping. CFB Nation just continues to pump out content. I'm gonna tell you something right now. We're gonna be dropping 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 more team-based shows within the next 30 to 45 days. My man has been dropping some clues. SC Romero, hop on it at the PPR show on the Twitter. Check out, and you might be able to figure out. But we got another one. I'm not dropping it yet. But she is coming out swinging. So get ready.
They ready, man. Hey, man, shout out to Russ, man. Russ was here active. Hey. It's overreaction off season. Hey, y'all gonna get us at least once a week, if not twice a week, coming up soon. Like Dito said, we got a lot of content coming out. So I always like to say there are no more victories in a sport that survive in advance. That's why college football is the greatest regular season. Till next time, y'all already know what it is.